Welcome to the It Podcast. As you all know by now, the It Podcast is powered by Monterex. Make sure you head over to monterex.com and take advantage of the 15% off they offer if you type in Legit at checkout. Monterex have been the main sponsor of the podcast for a while now, and their gear is a belter. So head over to the website now and take full advantage of the Legit promo code. So before this episode starts, if you do enjoy the Legit podcast and you do want to support us for just £1 a week, you can on Patreon. And with doing so, you get early access to all our episodes and an extra weekly episode of me and Jordan just chewing the fat. Thanks for the support. Nice one. Welcome everyone to the It Sportcast. It's me, Andy Grant.
It's me, Jordan Neal.
Happy Friday, everyone. Once again, I apologise for being dressed like I should be at Cheltenham.
We're at Cheltenham right now.
Well, we are when you listen to, we are, yeah, but we're recording this on a Tuesday night and I'm dressed in a fucking three-piece suit, so I apologise.
Not like being prepared, lad.
Yeah, I've been working today.
Gold Cup day.
Gold Cup day, yeah. Happy Friday, everyone. Hopefully the sun is shining and we're all having a good weekend.
It's due to be, innit?
It's going to be a belter weekend of sport.
Ooh.
Before we kick off, George, I don't want to become one of these podcasts where we have a laugh and we take the piss and then a week later we have to apologise for offending people. So I want to do it once and once only. I apologise for saying Andy Murray is awful. He's not awful. He wanted to do a good thing and give his winnings for the rest of the season to the Ukrainian people, and he's not an awful player. What a great guy. And then he went and won his next match after I said that. Apologies.
Well done, Andy.
He then got beat the match after. Now he's knocked out, and now the Ukrainian people are going to suffer.
Do you know what, though? What did he get for that win? Some mad money, though.
Yeah, he got about 300 grand. I mean, it was obviously a joke. He's obviously not an awful. He's far better than me.
Do you know what world we live in, though? Jokes do not exist anymore.
Andy Murray, if you are listening, mate, or some of your fans are, it was a joke.
Or you, Judy.
Or Judy. I've had a drink with Judy, I've told you. Me and Judy are like that.
I've heard your stories, lad. Let's move on. We're waiting in the caravan, wasn't it?
Yeah. George referring to some of my sexual exploits that got revealed on Patreon this week, but we'll leave that there.
In a caravan?
It wasn't a caravan, no, it was not. Yeah, that's the only tennis news I've got this week. No Novak news you'll be happy to hear. Just Andy Murray getting
Novak's had a week off.
Just Andy Murray getting beat. Mate, it's got to be... Where do you want to start? Cheltenham's kicked off. Footy, FA Cup, Champions League, UFC, boxing.
First day at Cheltenham, we had a couple of winners, didn't we, on Patreon and stuff. So that was a good day. Hopefully the rest of the days have followed today's Gold Cup day. So it's a bit hard, isn't it, to talk about Cheltenham?
Yeah. We can talk about day one.
Yeah.
Honeysuckle and old Rachel Blackmore.
Yeah, it was good to see her get the crowd, wasn't it, in terms of getting the reception of coming in and getting...
Because she's had Rachel Blackmore. She was the queen of entry and the queen of Cheltenham within a few months of each other and never really got to experience it because of COVID.
But that entrance she got on Honeysuckle today was unbelievable. And then she fell in the very next race and stood up. She's hard as nails.
Yeah. Well, they all are, aren't they, jockeys?
Apart from RJ.
I was going to say, apart from your J.
Yeah, but they are very tough. But she's just exceptional, isn't she?
Yeah.
Do you know what I think, though? Obviously, everyone expects that horse to win. And there's got to be some point in that race where you think, oh, I'm like, are they going better than me? They got and she just never panics.
No.
She's ice cold, isn't she?
Brilliant. I just can't wait to be down there now.
No, I can't. It
cannot wait.
Unbelievable. Then on TV.
Yeah. But I get dead, I'm not emotional, but like I just get dead. I just love people being together having fun.
Because it got taken away though, innit? And now seeing Cheltenham like that, the roar and stuff.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
Absolute belter, yeah.
And the Gold Cup's what, like, whether you like horse racing or not, everyone knows what the Gold Cup is, don't they? Like, it's like a big sort of mark in the sporting calendar, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So to be there and watch it, especially this year.
Who are you fancying for the Gold Cup?
Galvin.
Oh, yeah.
So at Plutard, who's we backed last year, immediately after the race I thought, that'll win it next year. Should have won it last year. Then Galvin has got sort of won at Cheltenham last year, had a season where it just looks like he will go and win it. So, yeah, Galvin's my pick.
If anyone does like a flutter, again, we're not encouraging gambling, but if anyone does, on our Patreon, we've been giving out tips every day for Cheltenham, so go and check them out. That's all I'll say on that, but it's there if you do like
to be honest, though, you can watch Cheltenham without betting, I reckon.
Yeah, of course,
It's just a spectacle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable, and then obviously it's...
They do a good job on ITV4, I think, don't they?
They do. I mean, because you've got to get every audience into horse racing, haven't you? You've got to think about old people who just sat watching the TV, come across it, you know what I mean? Retired people.
You know what I love? I was on the train this morning going down to Ipswich, and I had my racing post out, and some fella walked past and went, that horse there, mate, in the first, going to win. It's like a 33-1 outsider. And he was like, it's going to win that. Like, nice one, mate. And just that, everyone's an expert, aren't they?
Yeah. I had so many tips, mate, this week. Like Texas.
Go and get us on Patreon. They're all there.
I've sent everyone that way, like, but I'm just saying, so many people I haven't spoke to in months, do you know what I mean? And they tell, hi lad, any tips?
Just the man in the know, aren't you? The postman.
It happens at Cheltenham entry, and usually whenever there's a big boxing or UFC card.
The postman. You deliver, lads, that's why.
Should have a fancy dress party, because it's fucking easy for me, isn't it?
So yeah, properly excited for Cheltenham. We'll be there as you're listening. We will be there.
Yeah.
And there are going to be, on that point, there's going to be a few little vlogs and
they'll be out
behind the scenes clip. If you haven't seen them already, they're going to be out already on our Instagram and Twitter, and also a bit more of a behind the scenes look at the Legged podcast on the road. Me and Jordan have been lucky enough to go to Cheltenham for a couple of days. We're at the UFC this weekend, and I'm working on a couple of tickets for Forest on the Sunday. Keep that in the, if you're not divorced by then, potentially.
Hope my wife's not listening. Forest,
so yeah,
Forest?
For any kind of exclusive behind the scenes content, get on us at Patreon for that. Anything else on Cheltenham you want to drop?
No, it's hard, innit? Because we're retrospectively speaking a lot of the time, but loads in footy. Liverpool, Everton, City, Chelsea, obviously.
If I can start on City, the squad that they've got, which is probably the best squad in world football, I'd argue.
Yeah, apart from the strikers, isn't it?
Pep seems to lose his head a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Do you not think?
Yeah, he's a very nervous. He's a great manager, but he does radiate nervous energy, doesn't he?
But for someone who's as good as him and has won as much as he has in so many different countries and has got that, that just the squad at his disposal, I don't know why he seems to kind of flap as much as he does.
Yeah, the pressure, he has got a mad pressure though, hasn't he, in terms of, like, he does crack, like, I'm giving you that. His interviews are insane. Yeah. Like, you can just see it all over his face. You can even hear the interviews just like...
They're dead short as answers, aren't they? We were great.
Or like, no, like they'll ask a normal question and his reply will be like, it was... Klopp's done it as well a few times, actually, when he's had his back up. His answer will be as if they've asked something really random. So he'll like take like 5 seconds to pause as if it's a really difficult question. And then he'll answer it like it's hard, but it's not. And I don't know, that's just stupid, isn't it? Just be honest.
Klopp's definitely done it in the past when there's been a dodgy refereeing decision. And they say, do you think it was a foul? And he's like, do you think it was a foul? Yeah. But
Klopp's done that, where it's like, so you'll say, oh, why didn't you bring any subs on? And then he'll pause for like 5 seconds. And he'll act like it's a really deep, meaningful question, but it's just, why didn't you make any subs?
I seen him have a go at the keeper, didn't he?
Yeah, he got on the pitch, didn't he?
For time wasting. Well, you're going to do that though, aren't you?
Paddy Vieira was encouraging it, wasn't he? I would as well.
It's just any team.
It's like I've said to you loads of times, like, I think the teams at the top of the league, Liverpool included, we all get a fucking cob on when people do stuff against the rules to try and stop us. We all think everyone should come and try and... City as well, like, should come and try and play us at football. But it, like, because we're good, that everyone else should be.
Yeah, should play the way we should.
Yeah, to come and have a fair game.
So that we can show just how good we are.
Exactly. But like, it's like a privilege, isn't it? So then when someone comes, i.e. Burnley at Anfield, and he starts throwing elbows and stuff, everyone's like...
Get out of Sean Dyche's ass.
No, but it's different, isn't it? That's like, if you went to Anfield, what would you do? Or the Etihad? Yeah. You'd kick anyone you could get close to.
Time wasting from fucking...
Exactly. But everyone's like, come on, play us in a fair game. Which Brighton usually do and get fucking tonked behind 9-0.
But yeah, I thought Palace done really well.
He's doing a good job, Paddy Vieira. They got a few good players, haven't he, Palace?
That lad on loan from Chelsea's good,
Gallagher, He doesn't stop him, like, fuck me.
Yeah, so Pep losing his head a little bit, which I thought was interesting. And again, just whether you look at the kind of the squad he's got and you look at the lead he has with 16 points.
Yeah, something like that.
If it was anyone else, do you think they'd get a bit more flack? But because it's him, it's...
Yeah. But I don't know. I think they are getting a fair bit, aren't they? But, I mean, like, I think more would be made of the fact that the gap was bigger. But they don't have a striker. It's mad. How can you have a squad that good and not have a striker?
I've seen the numbers for Jack Grealish. It's mad, you know.
Yeah, what, not delivering?
He's had 2 goals and 2 assists this season. I think Divock Origi's had more. They paid 100 million, George, for him. Jack
Grealish, for me, though, he's like... But like Lukaku, I reckon, like the big fish in a small pond thing. I think that's where... I'm not saying he is a class player, but I just don't think he fits into a squad where he's now just a small part of a big thing. Do you know what I mean? At Villa,
I disagree. I don't even think it's that. I just think that there's too many of them in that position.
No, because whenever he's fit, he plays, doesn't he? Every time. Whenever he's fit, he plays on the left wing.
But I don't think they're set up though. Like, if he was playing that role and they had a striker he could link up with, then fine.
Yeah.
But it's like...
Well, they're probably going to sign fucking Haaland, aren't they? That's the rumours, like. That's the problem, like, if they don't win the Champions League or they don't win the league, they're just going to go again with, like, £1 billion. and just go, right, well, we'll just win it this
£1 billion.
As soon as it gets to a point where they're like, where anything happens, like, what they perceive shouldn't happen in terms of they don't win the league, they're just going to spend mad money and no one can keep up. Liverpool can keep up on the pitch, but off the pitch we can't keep up with them. Like, money wise, just you'll see it going to go on to Salah in a minute. Like, we physically refuse to pay. I think he wants the same, like, seeing on Grealish, allegedly the same wage as what the likes of Grealish are on, and he's our best player and we don't want to give him it. Where
do you stand on Salah? Is it a little bit like, wind your neck and you're already a millionaire, be happy, or is it like we should pay him?
No, I think he wants to get paid that amount of money for recognition and respect, doesn't he? That's clear, because he thinks he's Liverpool's best player. He's earned that sort of money.
But he doesn't think he is.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, in his mind, he thinks I'm the best player. I should be getting this money because it's in line with what players who perform around my level are on. But I also, like, as much as I've disagreed with FSG's ticket and stuff, like the way they freeze fans out, the way they run Liverpool is very clear, isn't it? And you wouldn't have had Klopp, the success you've had, you wouldn't have had Champions Leagues if it weren't for them. Like, as much as people want to do the FSG out thing, they made it happen. So they can't. I get what they're saying in terms of, if you want to play here, this is how we work. This is the structure. We can't just break it for you, because if you break it for Salah, then what does Van Dijk's agent do? Do you know what I mean? He goes in and says, "Oh, Salah's on 450 grand, is he? Well, I'll have that as well." I know they're all harmonious on the pitch and they're all hugging and they're all best mates, but that doesn't mean they don't get on the phone to the agents on the minute on the way home from training. Say, I want as much as him.
100% agree with you, by the way. The only thing I think is hard for Liverpool owners' point of view is, okay, if you dig your heels in and you say to Salah, we're not paying you that much money because it's not on our business model, fine, okay? So he goes, the money you're going to spend to get someone like for like, you may as well just give them the money anyway.
They're not going to go like for like, are they?
Okay, but they're going to downgrade on him, and then they might not win the Champions League, or they might not win the league, or they might not be challenging for the quadruple in April like they are now.
I think historically, Liverpool never directly replaced her, did he? Like, for example, you look immediately now.
Have we ever been in a position, though, mate, where we've got the world's best player at your club?
No, but we've never been in a position to be run by people that we're getting run by, have we? We've never had...
Yeah, well, we had Suarez and FSG were there.
Yeah, but we weren't like we were garbage. If he didn't play, we got beat, didn't we? Or we drew. Do you know what I mean? It was a different time. We're now, like, the way they're running, probably one of the most successful teams in the world, and it works the way they run it. I understand what they're thinking. If a player doesn't want to fall in line with that, however good he is, we are good enough to build the team on again. That's what they'll be thinking. But obviously, as a fan, you're thinking he's the best player in the world. But they don't think like fans. They think like businessmen. And it doesn't make good business to give Salah that money. I
just know it. Is there a rule in business, though, where if you uncover a gem, i.e. Ronaldo, Messi, Salah, then, you know, the kind of business rule book goes out the window and you go, hang on, there's an exception here. He's the greatest player on the planet.
Yeah, but if you give him 4 years on 450 grand a week that he wants, I'm not saying it would happen, but what if it drops off? What if his levels drop off?
Yeah, there's a chance. That much storage.
I understand what lads on the cop are thinking. He's the best player in the world. We need him. But you also have to see, you can't love us winning all the Champions Leagues and being this successful team and having Klopp, but then when they make a decision that's in line with that, but you don't quite agree with it, then go, oh no, it's wrong.
Oh no, I'm just being devil's advocate with you and just thinking the kind of times.
For me, I would give him. I think he's the best player to ever play for Liverpool. Like, I would give him whatever he wants, but like, that's why I don't run a $1 billion business. Do you know what I mean?
What did you think of his agents coming out with those laughing emojis?
To be honest, that's on Salah for me.
Really?
Yeah, you surround yourself with people, don't you? And there's no way that fella is getting paid by fucking a lot of money by Salah. You can't tell me Salah doesn't have a direct sort of opinion on what he can put out and what he can't.
I know, but he doesn't. It's like you know, you kind of managing me, I can't control your every tweet.
Yeah, but if I did something that was derogatory to your character, would you not pick the phone up and go, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, but it's done then, isn't it?
Yeah, but then you take it down. That fella's out there constantly just throwing little nuggets in, doing like the stupid tweets, and it doesn't stop. So obviously he's not getting told at source, is he, to stop? I'm like, that's not me trying to like
every time you be a bellend, you don't listen to me when I tell you to stop being a bellend.
You're not fucking Mohamed Salah, are you? But I just think he's the boss, isn't he? He's the in the Mohamed Salah business. It's about him, isn't it? And the people around him represent him.
Be interesting to see what's going to happen with that. Like,
I think you have to sometimes with footy. It's hard, but especially with Liverpool, you have to think of things rationally rather than with your emotions, don't you?
On to Chelsea, whose emotions have been high this week. See Cara have a little pop at them. I thought Cara was bob on with what he said, by the way.
I did.
Chelsea have actually, literally, I mean, Chelsea for me is Roman Abramovich. That is Chelsea Football Club. And for the last 20 years or 19 years, they have literally, destabilised other clubs by just throwing money at the situation. And that's what they've done. Now that's getting taken off them, and people could potentially take advantage of their situation. Now they're throwing the toys out the pram, and it is unfortunate for the diehard Chelsea fan. As much as as a bad rap that they get, they don't seem to be from the outside the greatest of fans in the world. But on a kind of proper level of, it's quite harsh. Like we spoke about Russian athletes who are getting penalised.
Yeah.
For your kind of Chelsea fan who's a decent guy, maybe it is harsh for them. But in the grand scheme of things, it's a bit like, well, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, I understand that, but I reckon if you aired the dirty laundry of every Premier League club, there's something like that going on. Apart from maybe the likes of Burnley, which are run on a shoestring. But I mean, if you uncovered, you're pissed. If you went into Liverpool's, like, just to keep it on Liverpool, if you went into Liverpool or Everton's, Man City's, the way the clubs ran, to it like a fine-tooth comb, the way an audit would go. I guarantee there's a load of dodginess going on.
100%. It's not. I don't think it's that. It's just where the money's come from. Essentially, it's Russia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Putin, where Abramovich made his money and stuff, etc.
I just think obviously that's in the news right now, but I think they're unfortunate. I think Chelsea, because they become the first English superpower, didn't they? In terms of like. After Roman Abramovich, although owners are famous, they were never in the spotlight the way he was when he come in. Like, for example, when he came in, the cameras, the TV cameras were on him, weren't they? In the stand, rather than... How many times have you seen him go John Henry rather than the players, do you know what I mean? It's like he was more the face of it than any other owner was. But, like, obviously, if the money's come from that source, then they're getting everything they deserve. But I just don't understand how they go, we're so hard done by, as Carragher made a good point. When they got the money, they went in and took whoever they wanted, whenever they wanted. They've
now withdrew their application to have the game played behind closed doors, which was just a mad shout in the first place.
Yeah.
They asked for the game for Middlesbrough to be played behind closed doors because of sport and integrity. Most ironic thing ever, but that's quickly got fucked off, thankfully.
Yeah, the players, it's harsh on the players because obviously they're putting in a position now where probably loads of them are going to be tied into contracts and fucking hellhole, aren't they, really? Like, and obviously the manager's fucking off though.
He's definitely gone. One club who was absolutely flying under the radar is Arsenal. Remember, his head was on the block, weren't it, the first month of the season? I'm
still not convinced by him, but they have put a serious run together. But do you reckon it's Arsenal are good, or the rest of the league's just that average?
Nah, Arsenal have been alright, I think.
The league bang average though, innit? Outside of Liverpool and City.
Do you reckon?
What's the best team following Liverpool and City?
Chelsea.
Yeah, and they just, like, who did they have the other night, and they went life and death with them, didn't they? Norwich. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't think it's as good a league as everyone makes out in terms of quality.
I massively disagree.
Do you think there's, outside of, like, I actually think Liverpool and City, I just think the teams are bang average, lad.
Compared to what league, though?
I'm not saying it better or worse than any, but I just don't think it's as good as people say.
You look at the Italian league, we went over, spanked AC Milan and Inter Milan.
No, that's us. Liverpool and City are the two best teams in Europe, guaranteed. I just think outside of that, the league is not that great. Like, the teams, like Arsenal are probably the informed team, but if you put Arsenal at the top table, how well would they do? Do you know what I mean? They're not... They've got some good players. Like I really like that Odegaard, and obviously Saka's a good player. But I think the league's a bit overhyped, me. outside of us.
I disagree.
Yeah, because you're a diehard Red, that's why.
No, I just think that the league, it's that good. You could look at it the other way. It's that good. Anyone can beat anyone on the day.
Can they though?
Yeah. Someone who can't seem to get a win at the minute, and again, this isn't, I know I've got this kind of image now, being quite bitter about Everton.
Yeah, you are. You're Everton basher.
But on a serious note, though, Carey again made a good point. They had Rafa, a very defensive-minded, kind of cold manager. They've now got Lampard, who's there, full of energy, full of come on, let's press, let's get the crowd behind us. None of it's working.
No.
That result against Wolves, the big thing we were going into that weekend's hearing is the home form will get them out of this. That was a home game against Wolves, which was one of the winnable games, and yet they've been beat again.
The worst thing for me is that in the first half, Wolves are obviously a bang average team. And Everton, it was tight, you know what I mean? It was like a tight sort of, no one wants to lose. But then Wolves just wanted to win more. Like it just come down to like stuff, grit, who can run harder, who's working harder, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And Everton lost that at home in the worst crisis they've probably ever been in recent history. And the players just went sound like towel in. Do you know what I mean? I felt sorry for Richarlison, who was actually trying to run everywhere. Like Coleman, who probably shouldn't be playing, but is trying, but he's clearly not at the standard needed anymore. And the goalie, Pickford, he was trying to impact the game as a goalie, but the rest of the players, they were just looking around as if they'll be like, well, they just didn't look. Obviously they're bothered, but they didn't run. They didn't work hard at all.
I think personally, though, the thing that'll keep Everton up at the moment are the clubs around them. It's not them.
Yeah.
They just need to hope and pray that your mate, Sean Dyche, doesn't get Burnley on a run.
Yeah.
They need to pray and hope that Leeds start going on a slide again, because you can't bank on Everton getting themselves out of that.
It's a massive game. Well, it'll have been done by the time this goes out. They play Newcastle, don't they? But I don't know. It's just gonna. I think at this point, it's not about the quality of your squad. It's about
fight and determination.
Just literally fighting, and that's why I don't. Because I do. I know I've done it myself. You have a laugh at Everton fans booing all the time, but I actually do feel bad for them, because like what they're watching, they're literally like they can't do anything to impact it, but they're literally watching people play for their club who don't care. And the only time I can ever remember that is when Liverpool went under like Roy Hodgson, when players literally didn't look like they cared. Yeah. And I remember how bad that felt. So to see that now, so consistently must be awful.
It's shit.
But if they go down, mate, I'm telling you, they'll never come back up.
That's a strong statement.
But they won't. There's too much around them. Like, they'd have to get rid of everything if they went down. There's too many overheads.
I said, just for context, months ago, Liverpool will do the quadruple and Everton will go down. You dismissed both of them. Is it now safe to say that you're coming around to the idea of both?
I don't think Liverpool will win the quadruple, because I don't think there's enough players for the amount of games you're going to have to play.
Do you think they'll win any more trophies?
Yeah.
Do you think Everton will go down?
No. Don't. But it's going to get fucking close.
I think Liverpool will do at least the treble. At least. And I think if Everton don't go down, they won't finish higher than 17th.
No, I mean, I'm talking they could go last day, but I don't think they'll go down. And I think Liverpool will do double.
You'd take the double, wouldn't you?
Oh, take it. I mean, you're not going to go, oh, yeah, shit season, are you? Double's
if they didn't,
bad.
yeah, there's one. If Liverpool don't win anything else, is it an unsuccessful season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you can't set your standard and then just drop it, can you? But that's the privilege of being at the top.
No, I do feel very lucky, mate.
The Prem's mad, I'm just looking at your notes. Champions League, though, that'll be getting done today, yeah. Who do you reckon we get?
I want Amsterdam.
AFC Amsterdam. What's the game? Pro Evo?
Pro Evo.
Merseyside Red.
I was more of a Pro Evo man, me.
Yeah, I was, because you could make that player 99 everything, couldn't you? Become like 6'7", 99 pace, 99 strength, 99 shooting.
Did you ever used to go to your mate who was on FIFA?
Yeah, I didn't have a PlayStation.
No, but I mean, if you're a Pro Evo and then sometimes you'd play your mate on FIFA, and I think like circle was like cross and square was shoot, and then you'd end up pressing that, and then you'd be like on the edge of the box ready to shoot it and just
send it. Yeah. No, Pro Evo was the one. It was so good, like, just off topic, but the way they didn't have the licensing rights, but they just cracked on anyway. I love that attitude. Like, well, we legally can't do this. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, fuck it.
Merseyside red.
Mate, on the American football point,
Brady.
Mr. Brady's back.
2 months.
What do you reckon that's about? Do you reckon that's a little bit
Got home and just started living the life we all live. His wife started shouting at him. The kids are doing his head. He's like, fuck this. I'm going back. I'm going to go and get sacked by 6'8" linemen.
It is more of a, it is a deeper debate. And I know we have had this conversation with the likes of Tasha and, other sportsmen and sportswomen. But it fascinates me, because he's got all the money in the world. He's got, the supermodel wife, I think she is, his kids, obviously, or everything you could ever want. All the time in the world. He's in his 40s. And yet, like you say, he'd rather go and get absolute pummeled by a load of 6'5" fellas.
It's so hard to walk away though, isn't it? I think he made an emotional decision, and you can't do that in any walk of life, can you? Like, he made the decision.
An emotional decision to go back?
No, he made an emotional decision to retire, didn't he? Like, he was obviously hurting from losing the game and stuff. And it was immediate, wasn't it? And I guess the world's just slowed down a bit. And, he hasn't felt as rough as he probably thought he would. And like I said, his wife's probably shouting at him and stuff, and he's gone back. But
I guarantee that is not why he's gone back.
100%. You're telling me there's not a part of him that's gone and, like, started settling into retired life and not gone, fuck this. Lad, 100% he has.
No. Exactly.
Yeah. Lad, come on.
That's a married man speaking.
I don't get any grief, though.
And neither does he. He's a multi-millionaire. He's probably got servants walking around his house.
Servants? Fucking hell. It's 2022, lad.
What do you call them? Maids?
Don't know. You've got to clean at them.
Look at you trying to drop that in there.
Essentially a servant.
What's wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with it. You're giving someone good work. Well done.
He comes once every 2 weeks and he's great.
There's so many jokes in there.
I've just heard that back what I said then.
Yeah.
Thankfully he only does come once every 2 weeks.
No, I just don't think Brady was ready for that life, lad. He wasn't ready to be out the limelight.
I get it, yeah.
I'm not saying it was his wife. That was a joke. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just saying he wasn't.
I'm on my Andy Murray high horse now, getting offended by everything.
Yeah. He just wasn't ready to fade into the abyss.
Now, it is a serious, more, conversation. I just think it must be so hard to leave that adulation behind, because it's not about money for him.
No.
It's about that, it
wasn't about money for him for a long time ago.
You've got that purpose, you've got that drive to get up in the morning, and suddenly someone just goes...
I don't care what anyone says, they go like, I've retired, but, I'll go to the gym every day, or, I've got a routine. Loads of people talk about I've got a routine, and that's fine, but you're not doing it with the same intensity that you was when you knew you had to do this, because on Sunday you're playing against X who's going to, is at this many, do you know what I mean? You can go to the gym and, you might have planned to get there at 8, but, rolled in at 8:30, and then you probably turned the treadmill off a little bit quicker than you needed. Just stuff like that, and it all adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But obviously it's good to see him back, because he is the biggest draw. Do you reckon he's the biggest athlete in the world? Tom Brady?
He's a good 6'4", 6'5", isn't he? Yeah,
this is what I'm dealing with.
Would you say that? Nah, Ronaldo.
No, Tom Brady's bigger than Ronaldo.
Nah, he's not.
How many followers Tom Brady got?
Ronaldo's got the most.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's chiseled to death.
How pathetic is that? Yeah. Who's the most amazing sportsman? How many Instagram followers does he get?
Yeah, but once you get to that level, that's what it comes down to.
Ronaldo's the biggest then. There's only the Instagram accounts that's got more than Ronaldo.
Who follows Instagram?
Don't know. I didn't even know there was one until I seen it on the other day.
Gimps.
Mate, going on to boxing.
Hey.
That word I can never say. Probellum. Probellum.
There you go, lad. You're getting somewhere.
You know what I'm saying in conversation?
Yeah.
I can never say it. Probellum.
Yeah.
Probellum. Right. That's on in Dubai this weekend.
I reckon we should review before we preview.
Okay.
Because we had Conlan Wood, didn't we?
Oh my God, of course, yeah.
The best fight I've ever watched in my life.
I thought that... Well, I thought you were going to get your tip in straight away.
Yeah, Conlan KO.
You tipped up the Conlan KO, and I watched the replay back the next morning and was like, oh my God, it's coming in. And then Next minute he gets up.
I don't know how he survived. I think Conlon punched himself out a little bit in the end, but that even the shot that puts him down is so heavy. Like he's on his back. Sometimes you see knockdowns and like, you know, they'll either go to the knee or they'll like fall on their ass and like pop back up. He was lying down.
I thought it was done, yeah. But he's got up and fair play, he's hung in the fight, but he got schooled, didn't he?
Yeah, skill-wise, like, yeah, he wasn't even on the same planet, was he?
I said to you tonight midweek, he's not as fast as Amir Khan, but he seems to have that kind of sharp speed where you're like, fucking hell. Like,
it's like a sting, isn't it?
He's like weirdly fast.
Yeah. I think for 10 rounds, I give Lee Wood 2 rounds, and I think I was being generous. Up to 10. I had him winning. When did he get the knockdown? He got the knockdown 11. I had him winning 10, and then obviously he had the 10-8 round in the 11th and got the stoppage in the 12th. But up until 10, I thought Conlon was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
With the actual knockdown as well, I thought he'd punched himself out, like you said then. I was exhausted. Yeah, the knockout itself.
Yeah.
It was only on another camera angle where you see he does clip on the temple and it just...
It's just like a button, innit? Boom, gone. But I think I think he was very tired, because I think when he come back after 10, you sort of seen it was like sort of like a slouch, you know what I mean? And I know we say, I was sitting watching, there's only 2 rounds left, but that's a long time when you're exhausted, you know what I mean? And he took some big shots himself. He'd thrown a lot of shots, which obviously exerts a lot of energy. And I don't know, it must be so hard for him to take though, because he was so good. You know, when you get beat, sometimes, you know, you didn't perform, or he was so good.
The knockout was scary though, wasn't it?
It was just literally just an off shot, wasn't it?
But the dramatic effect of him falling out the ring, he said he fell into his brother's arms.
Yeah, his brother was on the front, Jamie, and then jumped up and grabbed him, yeah.
It was just looked like, oh wow.
I was worried, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it was like, obviously you can say it now, it was like a lifeless fall, wasn't it? It was like his arms were down by his front.
It reminded me of Pacquiao's one that time.
Yeah. Where he went in his face. Yeah. But I think there's boxing probably needs to look into that, because I think the fall might have done him more damage. Because I was thinking in my own head, as he's fell out, if he's fell there, you could break your neck or anything, couldn't you? Do you know what I mean? And there's people there and like stuff like that. And it's just
it was crazy.
But yeah, I mean,
unbelievable fight though. And what was so nice was the next day. Yeah. They're like, you know, hugging, they're getting photos, they're like...
Boxing needed it big time, didn't it? Like, for that, like, for a war like that, because, like, that's everything that's good about boxing. You know, there was a knockdown, you know, there was unbelievable skill. Then there was obviously Lee Wood, who realised, this fella's unbelievable. I can't box him. I'm just going to have to put my gloves at the side of my face and just walk and just try and get to him somehow. So you had that, and then you had the knockdown, then you had a knockout, and then obviously you had the being gentleman at the end, or the next day. Just had everything you need, but I just hope they do it again.
Do you think they will?
I think so, yeah, because the logical next fight for Lee Wood is the winner of Warrington Martinez, which is later this month. But I just don't think, you know, for example, if Josh Warrington wins, he's going to be like, yeah.
It's just a rematch, isn't it? Sorry, Martinez.
No, yeah, well, they fought before, yeah, but like Martinez beat Galahad, got the belt, now he's defending against Warrington.
Sorry, yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good fight, but I just think once, especially Eddie, once he sees the numbers that Conlon Wood could do after what happened, I don't think there'll be even... and there's a chance Lee Wood gets promoted to the super champion in that division, which is another debate, but like, I just don't think there'd be enough money in the Warrington fight to pass over this. Like, this is after that, that's a stadium. Like, they could go to the City Ground in the summer in Nottingham and they'd sell it out. Do you know what I mean? And Michael Conlon's already said he'd do that. Just think it'd be too big to deny.
No, I agree.
It's ridiculous, but yeah, ridiculous fight. Obviously, I'm sure everyone's watched it, but if you're looking for something to do this weekend, watch it. But yeah, then obviously you've got Probellum this weekend, which is you got obviously Peter McGrail from Liverpool. I think you'll do the McGrail as well, haven't we? It's just Peter.
Joe, both of them are going to do the April one.
Oh, both of them in April, but Peter's on this card.
Dubai,
Sonny Edwards is obviously a bit of a character. He's fighting Mohammed Wasim, which is a good fight, to be honest. Flyweight, so it's not really, you know, there's probably not going to be a knockout, but Sonny Edwards is a very good boxer, so, you know, good. I think that's their first show on Eurosport as well, as we spoke about last week, yeah, so Obviously, good to see them making moves. They're obviously trying to make.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Liverpool one in a few weeks. Yeah,
they've signed Jazza, haven't they? Signed Jazza Dickens.
I've seen that,
So he's got a fight on there against Gago, which is a good fight. Rocky's on there, Rocky Fielding. So yeah, good.
He spoke to Rocky about coming on the pod when he's home as well.
That'll be a boss podcast. But
shout out Rocky, yeah.
Yeah, I think Probellum, making moves.
Finish on the UFC.
Let's fucking do it.
Paddy's already started causing murder. There's a video going round of him throwing alcohol gel.
Hand sanitizer, yeah.
At your man's head. What's his name?
Ela Topuria. Well, Topuria. I don't don't know what it is. But yeah, he's my he's someone who I think's going to go right to the top. But it would seem him and Paddy might be on a bit of a collision course. But I think Topuria is better in the division below. But he's fighting at lightweight this weekend. So I don't know whether it's a ploy from the UFC or what. But I think they might definitely meet somewhere down the line.
What are your thoughts, your general kind of thoughts then for this weekend UFC? You got Molly, Paddy,
Big Tom, Arnold Allen. Oh mate, it's fucking full of them. But it's great to see the UFC back in London. Obviously it's been 3 years. It's a place that the UFC makes an effort to come to because they know the atmosphere in there is going to be unbelievable, especially when the likes of Paddy Ringwalk and stuff. But yeah, I think it's great to see Big Tom Aspinall getting sort of the main event because...
Is his opponent been confirmed?
Yeah, Volkov, he's in the UK, he was there today signing, but I hope there's no daft stuff about him getting bad receptions or whatever because they'll be in Russian, but yeah, it's a serious fight, like, I think he might be...
He's the underdog, you said?
He was the underdog, yeah, I don't know if that's coming a little bit, but it's a serious fight because Tom's going from fighting, good fighters, but like fringe, well, Volkov's done it, been there and done it. Been to the UK and won in the O2 Arena. Like he's no joke. Do you know what I mean? He's a very good fighter. And I reckon the problem we've had with Tom is we've never seen him in round 3, 4, and 5. Like we've never seen him have to go that deep. I'm not saying he can't, but again, it's a box you got to tick, isn't it? Like you can't say you're good at it or you can do it and not have shown everybody. So I can see. I think it goes deep, this fight. I actually think it goes to decision, but I think he'll probably have to answer questions that we haven't seen him answer, which is good for fans because you're going to know on Sunday morning whether we've got
a serious contender,
a genuine hope of a British heavyweight champion, or maybe someone who just needs a bit more time. But I think Tom's obviously knocked a lot of fighters out, but most people or people who watch MMA will know how good he is. He's a black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I think you might get to see that a bit this weekend. But so excited because the maximum crowd he's fought in front of was 2,000, I believe.
Yeah, because these, to me anyway, for someone who's got into MMA a lot later than the likes of you, these guys have been last couple of years.
Yeah,
it's COVID.
Yeah.
So they've not really had that kind of, that momentum of the crowds and the sellouts.
He's not fought in front of a crowd as a UFC fighter, but I think he headlined or he co-mained a Cage Warriors show, which was 2,000. But I don't know if there was 2,000.
It's going to be crazy for him.
Don't know if there was 2,000 in the building, but he's got 20,000 in the O2 as the main event. But he's also got to deal with everything that comes with that. Like wherever he walks in the O2 or in and around the O2 this weekend, it's his show. You know what I mean? He's the man, like the heavyweight hope. He's got to deal with all that, and it's all right being confident because he is confident and he talks great. But it's when you're fucking stuck in that hotel room on your own, isn't it? And you start thinking, is this too big for me? Blah blah blah. But I think he will. I think he'll win. I think he'll win by decision. But I just think he's I don't know. He's going to probably have to answer some questions, I reckon, because Volkov's no joke.
One fella who is also high on BDE, big dick energy and confidence, is Paddy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Colemanias.
I just pray and hope that that saying doesn't come back to bite him on the arse.
Scouts just don't get knocked out. He won't get that. He won't get that this weekend. He's going to win this weekend, but he's. The division he's in. I wouldn't be saying that too many more times because.
You're really confident on this weekend, yeah.
Yeah. He's better than Rodrigo Vargas, but it's just Paddy will only get beat at this level by himself, by not. I'm sure he has, but not training or getting distracted by everything that's coming to him outside of it.
Yeah,
he'll only beat himself because he's very, very talented. Paddy's problems are going to start when he's fighting people in the top 15, top 10, the likes of Topuria, and who's going to be in there soon. Because lightweight, for me, is the best division on the planet. There's just killers after, you see Makhachev, Charles Oliveira's the champion. Makhachev's got his eye on him. Once Makhachev gets hold of that belt, he'll be like Khabib again. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to...
touches it for a while.
Yeah, you're not going to get anywhere near it. But I'm sure Paddy would differ, but it's not like he's in a division where he's probably going to get a little bit of a shoe in here and there, or, it might be a decent chance to get hold of a belt. He's in a serious division, but, I mean, the UFC clearly think highly of him. He's going to be ring walking like 8 o'clock. The O2 on BT Sport just before the co-main event.
Storm Baddy hits.
He's going to blow the roof, isn't he?
I'm more excited for his ring walk than his fight.
Yeah. I hope, to be honest, I know he said he wants a first round finish, but I think being bored and looking at it from an MMA perspective, he needs rounds. Like, you need someone to push him a little bit, because there's no point doing all this and then reaching a point and someone going, and when someone suddenly doesn't go away when you hit them, being like, well, I'm not used to this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Paddy's got a lot of experience, which people don't really see. I think he's 20 odd fights deep now as a pro. It's not like he's a kid. I think he's 28, is he? 27?
Might be younger, I think.
So he's becoming a man, isn't he? Essentially, but yeah, I think Paddy will be all right this weekend. But as I say, I can't wait for the ring walk. It's going to be and
Molly was in the prelims. You said she's been bumped up.
Main card against Luana Carolina again. That's a very Brazilian fighter. It's a very close fight. Like, they match perfectly, really. It's going to be a stand-up fight. They're going to go at it, which Molly will obviously appreciate. I think Molly's problems come when it hits the floor. Not that she's improved a lot down there, but I think she wants it stood up, doesn't she? Her background's in boxing. She loves to box. She loves to fight. And I just, Molly's just got to drag her into her fight. And I think once it gets to that point, if Molly can drag women into a fight, there's not going to be many that are going to outwill her. They're not going to, do you know what I mean? They're not going to, they're not going to, like, she's never going to be found wanting in, like, for what we're talking about with Everton, grit, determination, stuff like that. She'll only get sort of people who may be better in a certain martial art than her, but yeah, I think as long as she can drag it into a fight, she should be okay. But I know she's looking for that finish. Hopefully it comes for her, but yeah, I think she might have to go through some sticky spots, but I hope she wins. Then the man Paddy's fighting with, Toy Porter, he's the one I'm most excited about seeing, because he's just a monster.
Yeah,
proper monster. And he's fighting Jai Herbert, who is the Black Country banger, but what can you do when you get matched against people like this? Do you know what I mean? Like,
not a hope for him, no.
Well, there's always a hope, isn't he, in mixed martial arts? Like, he's not like he's some schmuck off the fucking street who can't fight. He's a class fighter, but sometimes you see people and you think, he's going to the top, do you know what I mean? And whoever runs in his way, he's probably not a bad martial artist, but just not as good as him. And I think he might end up with, well, maybe not, because I think they'll give the British fighters all the performance of the night, fight of the night and stuff, but, I think he might put a bit of a show on because he opens the main card. And you find as you watch MMA, they strategically put fighters in places because they know sort of the impact they can have. So he's going to open the main card when everyone starts switching on BT Sport.
Right, okay.
Watch him and go, look at me. Do you know what I mean? What are we in for here? And I think that's where he's being placed for that. But then even on the prelims, Jack Shaw, who I think is probably, one of the most naturally talented fighters that, he's Welsh, but the British that we've got. I don't say we in very broad context, but like he's
doing that Andy Murray thing, aren't you? When he's great, he's British. When he's shite, he's Scottish.
Exactly. Well, I think he's down there sort of on the prelims. Paul Craig again, 2 ranked light heavyweights on the prelims in Krylov and Paul Craig. Don't think Paul Craig's gone to a decision in God knows how long, so I won't be at the bar for that one. But and then at the bottom is Mo Mokhaev.
Yeah, I see him on Dean Garnett's Instagram and stuff.
Well, I think Dean's a part of his coaching team. I know it's mad because he's backed by like the royal family in Bahrain, but he was from Dagestan, become a refugee in the UK, lives in Wigan. He's got a lot going on, you know what I mean? But he's probably the most
super impressive, by the way.
He's probably the most naturally talented MMA fighter I've ever seen, I think. Like, in terms of, we had this debate, but he was born to be an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? It was just it was just there. And like, he's so impressive. Like, he speaks well. He's like, he's got beef with Paddy as well. So that's fun. They're rocking.
Is there anyone who Paddy hasn't got beef with?
I just think him and Molly, I think he doesn't mind Jack Shore and Tom Aspinall, but
Yeah.
I think Mo Makhayev and Paddy might have a few crosswords, but yeah, I mean, if he's opening, I don't know if he's opening the show or he's very early on it, but you know, if you're watching or you're there, just don't miss him because he will be UFC champion. It's just gonna happen.
When, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I cannot wait.
I can't wait to be in there. You've also got the F1 this weekend as well. That's kick off.
Fucking hell, we are back.
We have the Sportscast. What we love live sport. We always say if we're ever millionaires, we just spend our life just watching live sport, and we're getting a kind of snippet into that this weekend with Cheltenham and the UFC.
I reckon 2023 it'll just be me and you and Musk floating around, going to live events.
Yeah,
F1, boxing, UFC. The studio might just
we
be
go
empty for a bit.
corporate or like we go working class scals or we go Tory corporate.
We'll keep a little nice tick.
Because George likes going Tory corporate. Like,
no, I don't. I just don't.
Be honest.
I don't like the cold one.
Tory corporate.
Only I'm footy. Like in the boxing, I wouldn't go in a box.
No. That's nice. Yeah. Just go ringside.
Oh yeah, we'd such
Tory.
But yeah,
George doesn't go to box unless he's paying 500 quid for a ticket.
I'm not a fan of being huddled in a footy ground like in the cold.
Listen, it's sport and I'm fucking buzzing for it.
Yeah.
Hope you boys and girls are too. Listen, hope you enjoy it. It's Friday. Hope you have a belter weekend and
Galvin's going to win the Gold Cup.
See you next week.
Fucking hope he does now.